freedom from fear is number 4. Freedom from fear. And we're talking about fear, no levels, all kinds of fear. When you have no fear, obviously you need to have some fear about some stuff that keeps you aligned with society, right? And aligned with what's accepted and what's not accepted. But when I'm talking about freedom from fear, I'm talking about freedom from the fear of taking action when you need to prospect and you need to go in for sale by owner, and you need to do a listing presentation, and the fear of a deal. Oh my God, my deal is falling apart. What am I going to do? Relax. What's the fear, right? So fear can be fear from failure or fear from success. These are the two that will motivate people. Based on Tony Robbins talks about this all the time, that you're motivated by the fear of losing something or by the fear of gaining something. There is the fear of success that the majority of people who are afraid of success are not aware of it, because it's kind of behind the scene. It's a fear that's behind the scene. And once we talk, like when I do a one-on-one session with someone, it's easier for me to help them see what they're scared of. Is it, I'm scared of failing, or I'm scared of becoming successful? So you got to figure that one out. But the freedom from fear is, to me, a lot more important than the financial security that most people seek out. Because if you don't have fear, then you're capable of doing a lot more than you're doing right now. For example, I love the subject of door knocking. You know, I think door knocking is one of the best ways, especially today, especially with social media and whatever, all the tech and AI and all the rest of the stuff. Now is the best time to go back to the basics and to go shake hands and knock on doors and show your face and smile and, you know, build new connections with people. So when you go, you know, I would say in a class of 100 students, 90 of them will really have fear of door knocking. They wouldn't feel comfortable even the idea of going door knocking is scary. But when you get rid of that fear, then you're capable of achieving a lot more success than anyone who's not doing that, which is a good reason to go do it. But how are you going to do anything? Like, how are you going to cold call? How are you going to knock on it for sale by owner? How are you going to go to an expired listing and explain and do your script with an expired listing? How are you going to take action in your business, enough action, in order to get enough results, negative and positive, in order to become successful? Maybe I need to fail 10 times in order to get, let's say, one success. I got to fail 10 times. Okay, I'm willing to fail 100 times to get 10 successes. Are you? Right? Maybe it takes me 500 doors before I get a listing. So I need to get 499 no, I'm not interested, and similar reactions, to get one that says, wow, you know, it's kind of funny you came here today because me and my spouse spoke about this last night and we kind of made a decision that we want to know how much the home is worth and blah, 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 blah. And then I go in and I do a listing presentation and take the listing. I'm willing to fail 499 times before I get one success. Majority of people would maybe feel differently. But when you dig into why people don't take enough action, you already know, guys, if I didn't tell you anything else, okay, you already probably know about multiple ways of going out there and getting a listing. Can be postcarding, can be farming, can be door knocking, cold calling, calling for sale by owners, calling builders and calling investors and going networking events, and, you know, all the 1,000,001 ways of generating leads or buying leads online or advertising online and doing a Google pay-per-click, or you do Facebook advertisements or Instagram and videos and you name it. So you already know what needs to be done. The question is why you're not doing enough to bring you to your next level. I'm at point A. Ron, help me get to point B. Okay, let's define point B. Okay, what's stopping you from going from point A to point B? What fears are going to stand in your way to go there? And then we start talking about these fears and how to eliminate. So I'm just going to tell you a basic technique that I use when I have fear. And I don't know about you, but I hate to be scared about anything. The only thing that I'm scared of is God. Like I only fear that. And then everything else, I try to tackle it immediately. So I do it immediately. Like, I'll give you an example. Say, when I started, my English was broken English. I really didn't speak well. I had very thick accent, and every conversation will be like, "What? I can't hear you. What? Call me again." They hang up on me. Talking 25 years, 26 years ago. I wrote out a script and I followed the script. And I jumped immediately and I made a lot of phone calls. Why did I make these phone calls? Because I didn't like the feeling of having this fear that's stopping me. I had a fear inside of me that stopped me from taking enough action to get the results I wanted. I wanted to go to point B. What held me at point A is I'm scared of making calls. Great. What do I need to do tomorrow? Make calls, and make calls all day long, every day, until you don't have this fear anymore. And I tried it out and it worked. And if you try it out, I can almost give you a guarantee that if you do that, for example, if you tell me, Ron, I'm scared of door knocking, I promise you, if you're going to follow my door knocking system, and you're going to go out there and door knock the doors that we're going to talk about, by the end of the month, like in 30 days, you have no more fear from door knocking. And I took with me people that had fear, I'm talking real fear of door knocking, and I took them with me and I went door knocking with them. And after about a week to 10 days, all of them are doing door knocking gladly. And then if you stop for a few months, you might have the fear come back because you just didn't do it enough. Okay, let's go out there and do it again. So the freedom from fear is better than financial freedom, because then you'll do whatever it takes to become successful. Okay, you will start conversations with people that you would normally be scared to start conversations with. You will go door knocking, you will go networking events, you will call for sale by owners. You'll do things that you normally don't do because you know how to eliminate, or you know how to control fear. Fear is not always bad. For example, if something bad is happening around you, fear will be triggered and make you run away from it, which is a good thing. But we're talking about fear when fear is not needed. That's what I'm talking about. Fear when fear is not needed. Being nervous, your heart is pumping because you need to go on a listing presentation. It's the first time you're doing it and you have no idea what to do, and and all that stuff. So what do? You practice it again and again and again and again and again until when? Until you feel comfortable enough to go in the door. And then you go through the door, and then you do a presentation, and then you go through the objections, and then you fail. You didn't get the listing, but you learned something, and you got rid of a little bit of tiny little bit of fear is now non-existence. Now you go to another listing presentation, you took another piece of fear away, and maybe you need to do 5 of those in order to get rid of fear completely from listing presentations, or maybe you need to do 10 of them, but I don't think you'll need 200 of them, and then you'll become more and more comfortable. Think about you being a child. How did you start walking? And would you walk today if you had crazy fear of walking or falling and getting hurt? You wouldn't be here. So in order to be successful in life, in any area of your life, you got to get rid of fear. The less fear you have, the more successful you become, and the more freedom you will experience in your life. Being free means that you have freedom from fear. And you can test that, by the way. Choose whatever you're looking. Ask yourself right now, you don't have to share. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of that's holding me back from becoming a better version of myself? What am I afraid of? And then choose. It can be a couple of different things, write them down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things. Look at the list, choose which one you're scared of the most, and then go do it. Go do it. What is it? Door knocking, calling for sale by owners? What is it? Doing a listing presentation? Like, what is exactly the fear? And then you go do it, and you see how it feels. Remember, success is feeling comfortable with the idea of feeling uncomfortable. So you need to start feeling comfortable, feeling uncomfortable. Feeling uncomfortable is okay. It's part of success. It's part of the process. It's not, you don't run away from it. Feeling uncomfortable is just a natural feeling to something that you didn't do enough times. If you do it enough times, you feel comfortable, and then this feeling is gone. We teach this to our children all the time. It's just part of life. So if you do that more often, you will become successful. more successful in your business, in your real estate business, in your whichever other business you want to do on the side, with your investments, etc. So I believe also that freedom from fear will allow you to build relationships with people that you normally wouldn't, which will bring you to the next deal. You need to open up the door versus closing the door. If you want to be more successful in real estate, you need to get to know more people, shake more hands, smile, be of service. Forget about real estate. It's about the people. Go help them do something. Okay, go help them do something. Maybe they're scared of doing something. Help them do it, you know? And obviously, we're all talking about positive things here. We're not talking about any negative things. You should have fear from consequences of doing the wrong things, and you know right from wrong. So I'm assuming that everybody's listening, you know right from wrong. I'm talking about stuff that you will do to make you become a better version of yourself, not a worse version of yourself. All right. Now, take those 4 riches that we spoke about, which is a positive mental attitude. If you always have one, you always feel good because you're positive. You can check every situation, every single thing, even the worst things in the world have something positive about them. Everything that God does is positive. We just are incapable of seeing it at the moment. Maybe in the future we'll be like, that was the best thing that ever happened to us. Yes, but when it happened, we didn't feel this way. So sometimes time will tell you that. But everything that's done, has a positive thing in it, and you need to start learning. Okay, I don't like this person. You don't like this person? How do you know? You just met the person. I don't like the way they speak. I don't like the way they look. I don't like this. I don't like that. This conversation, this chatter in the mind, stop it and change it and find something that you do like about that person. What is it that you do like? Because not liking is the easiest thing to do. And we do it all day long. This chattering of the mind will tell you what you don't like about everybody that you meet. Oh, I don't like this woman when she... Well, if you don't like her, that means you're not going to be able to do any business with her. And now you just cut off another line of connection that can open maybe another 200-300 people to be referred to you and to your business. So you got to learn how to find positive things about people and situations. And then if you're always looking and you're always finding what's positive, then your mental attitude becomes positive. Then you're less negative. And when you're less negative about stuff, you will experience more positive things because you're kind of aligning yourself with the vibration of positive energy. You're going to have more success. You're going to have more positive people show up in your life, less negative. Sometimes you're like, I wonder where this person disappeared. Someone negative you had in your life all of a sudden is just disappeared from your experience. So, all of these things will happen to you, and you should, work on yourself. This is a self-development situation that you need to devote yourself to self-development. We are never going to reach our highest potential. And that's what life is all about. We will keep rising and rising into our highest potential and creating the best version of ourselves as long as we're alive. That's my commitment. Should be yours because it's just going to improve your life and everyone else in your life. So therefore, if you take the 4, we already accomplished 4. We have 12 points, which will give us 12 weeks of coaching. But we're at number 4, freedom from fear. The first one is positive mental attitude. Second one is sound physical health. You got to invest yourself in becoming healthy. Walking, exercising, lifting, whatever it is that you want to do, yoga, you name it. Just be more healthy, drink more water, eat healthy foods, and become more, work on your physical body to be more healthy. Then work on your harmony in all of your human relations. We're talking about do to others what you want done to you, and don't do to others what you don't want done to you. It's so simple. It's the basic. If you just follow that, your life is going to be a lot more beautiful than it is right now. Just do that, stick to it, and make it part of your values that you're going for. This will make you it's going to make you a better person, give you more peace, give you more freedom, make you more money, better relationships. We can go on and on and on and on and on all the positive things in that this world has to offer us that are all connected to this behavior. You're in a situation, you don't know what to do. Okay, stop for a second. By the way, you have all the answers. Coaching is about asking you questions so that you can bring the answers, not me bringing you the answer. I just need to ask you enough questions so that you can find the positive about the situation, look at it, And then you'll be like, okay, what would I do if I was in this situation? Okay, and what's the positive about that? Okay, great. So that sounds like, okay, so that's option number one, you write it down, right? You always have answers. You just need to slow down, start being reactive, and become more responsive to stuff. So you wait a second, process what's happening, release the fear, relax. Everything has something positive. Let's look at it. You find it, and then you say, okay, if I was in this person's shoes, what would I do next? Do to others what you want done to you. Okay, great. So what would I like be done to me in that situation? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. It's not about you anymore. It becomes about the others. And when it becomes about the others, you always do the right things. You will do the right thing if it's done from that point of view. Stop thinking about the deal, saving it so that you can pay your next bills. Move that aside. And when you do that, you will have the tools that are necessary for you to create more harmony between yourself and other people. Also, between two people, you're coming in between a buyer and a seller. Sometimes there's also an agent on the other side. Sometimes there are also attorneys that are trying to protect each side of the deal. So now you need to deal with like the attorneys and the seller who might be a couple, and then the buyers is another couple, and then you have the realtor, and then you have the buyer agent, the buyer's attorney, so many different people, and trying to pull the strings to resolve problem situations. When we talk about negotiations a couple of weeks from now, negotiations is all about what I'm telling you right now. You really have all the answers. You just need to stop for a second, close your eyes, go within, try to feel what it means to be in the situation if you were the seller, if you were the buyer, if you were the seller's agent. Maybe the seller's agent is pissed off at you and nasty and not treating you nice and rude, and you name it. Find something positive about this person. Great. Start seeing them from this point of view. Now ask yourself, if I was that agent and I was being put in that situation, what would I want done? Great. I have the answer. Now I go and I do the answer. And the answer can sometimes work against me, but it's fine as long as I do the right thing. And if I do the right thing, God will take care of me. Maybe 2 deals are falling apart and 3 more deals are waiting for me. I need to align myself to be a better version of myself. And if I am, then everything else falls in place. Then you become more successful as a realtor, as a father, as a daughter, as a sister, as a neighbor, as you name it. So, and take those 4 and put them in your life and work it and become that person. You are already the better version of yourself. You just need to use what we're talking about here to make it happen. And then real estate success will come to you. Success in real estate is just a question of how much are you going to do? Okay. How many people are you going to help? And if you just focus on, I want to help more people, buy and sell. I want to help more people, buy and sell. It's not about my commission. It's not about becoming number one in my office and number one in my city and number one in my state and superstar on this TV show and being interviewed on that one. I don't take interviews, by the way. Like, I'm not interviewing anywhere because it's not about me. It's about you guys. You go interview. It's not, you see what I'm saying? I need to put you first. You need to do the same with your customers, with your family, with the people around you. Be a better person in the community. When you become that person that everybody loves and trusts because you're always putting yourself in someone else's shoes and you always do what's right based on putting yourself in their shoes, then everybody remembers you like that. And when it comes the time to call a realtor, they're going to call you. That's how the world works. No backstabbing, no cheating, no lying, none of that stuff. You're just straight. You're a straight arrow, and that will make you a lot more money. A lot more money. Make you a lot more successful. Will build a lot of more relationships. Give you a lot more referrals. You might want to do that. All right. 4 steps. If you have any questions, anything to add, anything you want to talk about from last week's session that you started utilizing in your life, I'd love to hear some success stories from you guys. Open microphone, feel free to jump in. If you have anything you want to add to what we said so far, please add. But I really would love to hear some of you talk about last week's session or the week before.
Good morning, Ron. This is Tommy here. I just want to share a little a little. I haven't seen last week's session. This is the first that I'm seeing about it. Elvis just put me on it, and I expect to be on for the next couple of weeks. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and talking to us. It's very refreshing. It's awesome. So I just simply wanted to share that I hit a rut. I was like on a cold streak with cold calling, and all of a sudden I just like shook it off and I just meditated. I was like, what can I do different? Like, how can I get more interactions? And I just like toned down my marketing voice and just turned on like the human, just the connection. So I just turned it into a conversation. Like my script, I just turned it into a conversation versus an infomercial person. And I've been getting recently much more traction, much more interest in wanting CMAs. Uh, so it's just I just wanted to share the fact that I hit a rut. I was frustrated, weeks and weeks and weeks, no solid contact, and then all of a sudden I'm getting traction right after I made the adjustment. It may be that there's more interest to buy and sell because the market, we're in the spring, almost summer. But the first winter months, the first couple of months of the year was rough. So I don't know if that played a part in it, but it definitely happened after I adjusted my approach. So I'm having much more success now. My brother and I, Elvis, we spent all day Sunday going through the different CMAs and talking up to different, following up with different people that I've been in contact the last couple of weeks, and yeah, we're making stuff happen. So I just wanted to share that, guys. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing. A couple of things you said that I want to, just clear and maybe put more of a magnifying glass. The beginning of the year was tougher on you, which caused you to go and get frustrated. You did, and then you recognize that doing that doesn't help you and doesn't change really what's happening. So then you had to go into your own mind and find another way, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, let me change my approach. That moment right there where you said, let me change my approach, is exactly what caused you to become more successful. So I think that, first of all, I love the fact that you need to fail first, have some pain, have some suffering in order to recognize, wait a second, something is not working and I'm getting pissed off and frustrated. The majority of people would have quit at that point in time. You went in and you start asking important questions, and then you got a really good answer, and you use that to put yourself at service, change a little bit the script. It's not about you, it's about them. And then all of a sudden you're getting much better results with it. So, it's really, you're going to learn from failing, and you need to make use of failure to make sure that you're failing forward, that you're learning from it and you're actually gaining something out of it. So, and now, by the way, I can listen to you and I hear your energy, and it's a different energy. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to be more successful, you got to align with that energy in yourself that is peaceful. If you're in anxiety, if you have fear about, oh, I'm not going to make any money, what I'm going to do next, or I need part-time job, and you start getting stressed out about it, then you're not vibrating with success, and therefore success is not coming to you. Success is not coming to you because you don't have faith. In who? In yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're going to fail. So what needs to be done? Success doesn't always come to you quickly. Sometimes God is testing you. Sometimes you need more time. Sometimes each and every one of us, by the way, is a little bit different. But I promise you that if you look at all successful people, they have something in common. And one of those things in common is being aligned with success, with their energy. It's about your energy. Are you synchronized with success, or are you stressed out? Stress is just going to give you more stress. And by the way, when you're super stressed and have anxiety, sometimes you can't even think clear, and you need a moment to relax. Go walk in nature, drink some water, stop thinking about the situation, go think about something else. And that's why I'm saying helping other people gets you out of your mind and puts you somewhere else where you can be in peace. And now all of a sudden it's not about you, it's about someone else. And when it's about someone else, you can bring the best of you to help the situation. And then you're like, oh, wow, I have the answer to what I was looking for, you know? And this is really what it's all about. Remember, guys, you have all the answers. Last week's session, harmony in all relationships, put yourself in other people's shoes. Anyone had any experience with that during the week? All right. I don't love the fact that you guys are not jumping in because I want you to actually utilize what we're talking about and go out there and do work with it. Like, I want you to put yourself, okay, let's focus this week for the next 7 days. Freedom from fear. You got to take action on what you're afraid of. So make a list of a couple of things you're afraid of and then go do them. Like, do at least one of them and then share with us next week. At the same time, try to put yourself into someone else's shoes in situations live and see how it changes the situation. Like, I put myself in someone else's shoes and here's what I did and here's what happened. Bring those stories next week. I'll see you next Tuesday, God's willing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks. God bless.
Yes.